Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. And I want to talk about batteries today because I have a lot of clocks that use AA and AAA batteries. And I've got a little problem. See, I've got a lot of other devices that use batteries too, like this one. One of the kids' toys here uses AAA batteries, and other toys that use AA batteries. And what happens when a battery is not strong enough anymore to run a toy like this? But maybe still has a little bit of power left in it. I always feel badly if I'm throwing away a battery when I think there might still be some power left in that battery that I can use. So I was trying to figure out, well, what's a good way to use a battery that's already had some of its power depleted? And I found that things like this, LED flashlights are a good way to use up power. Now, it might drive you crazy to think of a flashlight and the batteries in that flashlight are not all the way charged up full, and you've got kind of a weak beam on your flashlight, But for me, these are just kind of the grab and go flashlights. I'm not going to try to survive out in the wilderness with something like this, but if I need something, I just got to go outside and check and make sure that, the faucet's not dripping, or something fell under the table and I just want to look down at night and find that thing without turning all the lights, or something under the desk, just those sorts of things. That's why a flashlight, just a simple flashlight that doesn't have to be super bright, is a good option for me. All right, so let's look at this AA battery right here. Fairly new. They're supposed to be 1.5 volts when they're new. So let's just test the actual voltage on this. And look at that. It's almost 1.6 volts according to this meter that I picked up. So 1.6 volts. As it starts to drain a little bit, it might be more like this one. Now this is 1.45 volts, and that's still a good battery. You can use that for a lot of things still. But here's one that's basically been depleted, only 1.01 volts. And so when I get that low for me, then I'm okay saying I think I can throw this one away. I don't think there's much usable energy left in this battery. But how about this little AAA battery? Let's see what's left in here. Now this one, okay, closer to 1.3 volts. So for some of my devices, this probably won't cut it anymore. However, I think this one could still work in a little flashlight, still get a little energy out of that. And, this is one way I can take a partially used battery and really know I've gotten all the energy out of it before I just toss that. Now right here I have a battery I got from IKEA, and they sell some rechargeable batteries. They've changed them just a little bit since then. I think you can still get this one and one with a slightly lower capacity. But these are made in Japan, and these are low self-discharge rechargeable batteries. That low self-discharge is important because when you get a battery and you charge it up, like one of these here, it could drain just sitting there on a shelf doing nothing. And so a few weeks go by, you go to grab it and use it, and it's already drained itself. So these ones that are made in Japan, Eneloop batteries, and then these LADDA batteries from IKEA, made in Japan, they are low self-discharge. So you can charge them and wait several weeks, and still they retain most of their capacity just sitting on the shelf. But look at this one. This one's brand new. I don't think I've even charged it yet, maybe, but it shows at 1.3 already. You should keep in mind that with these nickel metal hydride batteries, they're going to be rated for a lower voltage overall, and yet they are still just fine to use in your typical devices that use AA batteries. They may not last as long as a brand new alkaline battery, but depending on your device, this could be a great option. So something like a toy like this that has a little motor inside, if I use a rechargeable battery in here, it's going to basically show as though it's a full battery, and it's going to run for pretty reliably for a while, and then drain quickly when it reaches that point in the charge. Okay, so for most of the devices we use, you could use a rechargeable battery just as easily as an alkaline, and you wouldn't notice a difference in performance other than maybe it wouldn't last as long before you need to change the battery. And I don't really worry about my rechargeable batteries. If I'm suspicious, or maybe it's not fully charged, I just stick it on the charger and give it another another jolt there to top it off. So when possible, I love to use rechargeable batteries in just about any device that I have. But the problem is I've got a lot of these half used up AA and AAA batteries that I'd like to use them up entirely. And then sometimes with a lot of my clocks, I prefer to use an alkaline battery anyway, because overall they will go longer before you need to change them. So I could put this in like an analog quartz clock, and it would go a couple of years before I need to change it. So I prefer to do that with alkaline rather than rechargeables in, like I said, a lot of my clocks. So what I've discovered is I really like to use these half-used batteries in flashlights. And so you can get something like this. It's pretty good. You know, it uses two AA batteries. It's got a nice LED in there, and it's fairly bright, you know, and this works well for me. And I can get a couple of partially used batteries and put them in here and just fine. But I was thinking, is there something even simpler than this? Maybe that uses just one battery. And that's when I found this. Now, I found something similar to this at, Lowe's, Home Depot, you know, and I think it was somewhere between $10 and $15 for a simple little nice metal flashlight. Seems pretty durable. Just has one button on the top there to turn it on. And yeah, just uses one battery. So what could be more convenient if I've got some batteries sitting around? Just uses one, and when it's used up, then I can throw this battery away, you know, and just get another one of my half-used batteries. So this would be great. But actually, I didn't buy this exact one from the big hardware stores. I found it on Amazon in a set of 6 of these for $18 for all 6 of them together. Yeah, so I thought, okay, fine. And it has a kind of a focusing ring there, so you can pull that out. And so that allows you to have a brighter, smaller spot there, or larger. And yeah, but I'm not, again, depending on this for super bright beam to survive out in the forest. But this is great for just if I'm looking for something in the trunk of the car at night, or, you know, under the table, whatever. This one works great, and it's small. I can carry this in my pocket pretty easily. And so that was a solution to one of my issues. And it's, you know, it's easier to use than this one that uses 2 batteries, and easier to carry around, and, you know, pretty cheap when I could find them for the equivalent of $3 a piece when I bought that package of 6 of them. Now, something like this flashlight is much more common, and you'll find this, you know, they're practically giving these away. You can find them for about $3 each. If you got a coupon at Harbor Freight, you can get something like this for less than that, sometimes for free. And again, same principle. You got one button there, turns on the flashlight. It's not super bright, and this one, in fact, probably, you know, could use a refresher on the batteries. You can see, you know, by comparison, it's roughly the same size. The thing about this flashlight, though, is when you open it up, and a lot of these that you're going to find would be similar to this, uses 3 batteries. Okay, so you got this little battery cradle here that holds 3. Put that in there, and you're good to go. Now, the newer versions of this might have something like this. And so instead of having, you know, those little bulb LEDs in there, it'd have something like a single point LED. And these can be very bright and very convenient. But once again, it's going to have that, that little holder there for 3 batteries. And I wanted something just even more convenient than this. So I thought, is there something like this that uses just one battery, but even smaller, something that uses one AAA battery? And that's when I found this guy here. And this one I did buy at, I think I bought this at Lowe's for about $10. So, but as you see, compare this to, there's the battery that goes in it. So it's only slightly bigger than that battery, just enough room here for the electronics for the LED. This does not have a focusing ring. It's just a single setting on the the point there. So, but again, fairly fairly strong, it's made of metal. Looks like it's going to last pretty well. Just flopping around in my pocket. And again, you just twist the top off, and there's your your AAA battery rather on this one, and you're good to go. And it has a little clip there, so you can clip it to your pocket or whatever. And I found this to be very, very convenient. Now you might be thinking, well, I've got a flashlight in my phone. That's even more convenient because I always have my phone with me. Trouble is, I found that sometimes I want to hold the phone and do something else and not have to worry about that's my flashlight and my phone. So sometimes I just think it's nice to have something this simple. And again, something that I can use to get all the power I can possibly squeeze out of my batteries before I throw them away. So that's why I like to use this. Now, maybe you're thinking, well, how about this pen light? Okay, this uses 2 AAA batteries. And, so it's longer, but it's still thin. It's about the same size as a pen or a pencil. So if you're used to carrying a pen or a pencil around in your pocket, or this would be a nice option too. And this does have a little focusing ring there. You can pull that out and push it back in and get a little bit of an adjustment on the beam there. So this could be a great thing to use, and you can find different prices all over. I think I bought this at Lowe's for, again, somewhere between $10 and $15. But just for keeping in my pocket with my car keys, I like the smaller one the most. But I'm glad I have this one too, because this is brighter. Obviously, it's got twice as many batteries inside, so this can be quite a bit brighter and more versatile if you need a pen light. And again, none of these I wouldn't want to rely on any of these if I'm lost in the wilderness. But for around the house, I just want to look into small spaces and have something just handy. Yeah, this is great, and you can keep this in your computer bag or your pocket or just whatever. So I'm happy with all of these. My kids love to have a little flashlight they can play with, and so I give them these kind of toy flashlights, and I use rechargeable batteries, so I don't have to bug the kids about, oh, stop draining all the batteries. I'm throwing away a lot of batteries. No, I make sure they have the rechargeables in these, and when the kids want to just play with a flashlight or do anything, they don't have to worry. I've got it taken care of, and I'll give them the rechargeables. And then I'll use these guys to drain every last drop out of my other batteries that I've got lying around that are maybe alkaline. Here's a nice one that's kind of old now, but I got this from Harbor Freight. So it's got a flashlight there and more of a floodlight on that side of it, and you just push the button to select which one you want, and then it's off in between those. And this one they've actually redesigned. You can still get this, but instead of having these little bulbs like that, it's something more like a single strip LED that's a rectangular shape or more a square shape there, and that seems to be pretty reliable. And but otherwise, it's really the same design. And even though you have to pull a sticker off the side here and undo these screws to change the batteries. You can change the batteries. This uses 3 AAA batteries. And if you got the right coupon at Harbor Freight, you can get these for, under $3 or even for free, depending. And, they're not bad for just to have around. You can hook that to something and, and it's got a little magnet there. You can stick it to the fridge and have it ready to grab whenever you need a little flashlight for whatever. So yeah, sure. I recommend those. That's great. This is one that I got for free from this furniture company. It's got their logo on there. So they had a thing where just go in and ask and you get one of these. And again, this is similar to the other ones that use 3 AAA batteries. It's got a little battery cradle there, and you put that together, and pretty convenient. But it's because it's got that nice big head there. It's going to make it a little larger than that guy there, and obviously larger than this one here that I'm going to keep in my pocket all the time as I go around. So, these are not bad, but it's just I'm looking for something that runs on the one battery. Now this one here, this is nice, super bright. It's got the focusing beam here. You can do that and have a lot of fun. Focus beam. This is really bright. Maybe you could get away with trying to survive in the wilderness with one of these. And it comes with this particular one. Comes with one of these lithium-ion batteries. You need a special charger for this, but it runs really well off this rechargeable battery. Or it has the option here to just use the AAA batteries in this little battery cradle. So kind of a dual power option on this guy. This is great, but again, I would use this to more have it around to use for serious. I got to go out in the backyard and find the kids lost a Barbie shoe in the grass, and I got to find it. I would use this guy, but if I just need something to find something that fell under the seat in the car, I'd love having this in my pocket, and I love being able to squeeze every last bit of energy out of batteries like this before I throw them away. So that's just an idea if you're thinking about it. Because when I was thinking about, I would love to get a flashlight that uses just one AAA battery or one AA battery. When I thought of that, I wasn't sure if something like that existed because I had seen so many of these around that use 3 batteries. So when I got looking around, I easily found that, yes, these exist. And of course I want them because I want to I've got one battery lying around that I need to use up. Now I can use them up. So just some ideas there. I'm not necessarily saying you're going to save the planet this way, but it is nice to know that you're not being wasteful because the price of batteries has gone up. I used to love to find deals on AA and AAA batteries, have plenty of them lying around so that I could use them in my clocks. And now, they're not quite as dirt cheap as they used to be. So again, when I think they have a little bit of energy still left them, I like to use that up. All right, that's all for now. I hope I gave you some ideas of how you can manage the batteries that are lying around in your house, not just filling up a drawer somewhere. I don't know if these batteries are any good or not. They're just sitting in a junk drawer. Well, go ahead, start using them up. And even if you don't want to have to use a meter like this and actually measure the voltage, just stick them in a flashlight like this. And you can tell if it looks like it's not bright enough to do anything for you. Okay, then throw it out and then, put another one in there and use that one up. Don't have a junk drawer full of batteries and you don't know what the status is on those batteries. Get yourself one of these or one of these or one of these other ones. Have some fun with it. Flashlights are fun. And that's all for now. I'm going to have some very specific clock and watch related videos coming up soon. So I do hope you will join me again for another episode of the Good Timekeeping Show.